back with how to. I think today we're going to talk about knowledge. What is knowledge? How to gain knowledge. And I know that a few people will argue semantics with me, and that's okay. But it's always been my experience that you have education, you have wisdom, and the two brought together in balance and harmony bring forward knowledge. Now, knowledge is power. So we want to kind of think about something, the old saying, ultimate power ultimately corrupts. And they're right. I've seen it more times than I care to remember. I've experienced it more than once. But how do we balance that power? Well, that'll be a topic for another video, won't it? Unless I have time in this one. But how do we gain knowledge? Well, we start with learning what education is. Where does education come from? Well, a lot of people say you go to school. Well, that's not always true. Education comes from books, people teaching you things, right or wrong. An education is an education. Well, you talk about lessons learned in life. That I consider wisdom. Because you're experiencing different things, you're experiencing you're getting life experiences through trying different things. This works, that doesn't. Spiritual guidance is considered a part of wisdom. So let's think about education that is anything that is taught by a book, another human, or set of humans, as in a school situation, education. And let's think about wisdom as being life experiences. I practiced martial arts for years, and you learn the correct way. You're educated on the correct way to hit something. And it's going to sound kind of screwed up, but you also are educated on the correct way to be hit. That education put into practice forms wisdom through practice. You farm that wisdom through practice. You kind of see where I'm going here. So if we take education on the left and wisdom on the right, and our goal is to achieve the combination of the two, giving way to knowledge, the understanding of both and the balance. Well, it's through knowledge that, done correctly, we will achieve respect. We can also achieve just as much disrespect by using knowledge to hurt, harm, and manipulate and control others, not for their best of will. That is your decision, not mine, not anybody else's. So, that being said, how does ultimate power ultimately corrupt? Well, think about it. take a single human being that started out with the best intentions to be the best that they could be at what they started out to be. Well, they worked for years to achieve that. They got the education, they earned the wisdom, they combined it and found the knowledge. They built the power by using the knowledge. Eventually, ultimately, unchecked power, ultimate power, will ultimately corrupt. It's human nature. And some religions would come back and say, well, God would never do that. Well, this has nothing to do with God, goddess, spirit guides, council. This has nothing to do with spirits. This has nothing to do with deity. Humans are the ones that work to achieve power. Some are more power hungry than others. Some gain so much education and wisdom and knowledge in a very short period of time they can't handle it. They don't know what to do with it. So they tend to run amok, you know. They just had a couple of people used to say, you know, run amok, amok, amok. Yeah, well, there you go. And to be honest with you, I don't know how to keep ultimate power from ultimately corrupting. I really don't. I mean, I've been in management, ownership, leader of a church, master of a grove. I've been in positions of control of one form or another since I was 23 years old, and I'm now 53. So, I've never, as much as I set on that, you know, I'm in charge, so we're going to do this. I've tried to maintain a philosophy that I try to govern on what's best for the masses while still keeping in line the needs of the few and the needs of the one. Well, unfortunately, when you're in that kind of seat or you're in that kind of power with that kind of knowledge, it truly is impossible to set the needs of many equal with the needs of the one, because every person is different, every person has different needs, every person has different ideals. So you can see where ultimate power ultimately corrupts. You can see where education and wisdom and knowledge all have to be balanced together. Just having one and not having the other can cause more problems than it's worth. So let's take a moment and let's think about what it is we're all seeking, what it is that we're all trying to find. Balance. It all comes down to balance. And once you find that balance, you'll realize that life is really a quite nice thing to have. So, good luck with your education, your wisdom, and you're balancing the two to seek that knowledge. Wishing you well. Have a great day.